everybody. I don't know who's going to join since we had to move the time, but hopefully we get a few people on here. So we'll just give it a couple minutes. Oh, I can't see myself now. Okay, here we go. Let's see if anybody jumps on. If you do jump on, just comment hi so I know that you're here. Or if you watch this at a later time, leave me a comment so I know that you watched it. Because I know with the time change and it being the middle of the day, who knows what's going on. So I just wanted to do a quick video today about some of the challenges that we're facing in the market and what we can do to help alleviate some of the pain that we're all feeling. We had a town hall meeting with Loan Depot earlier today, and our president and CEO talked about, you know, how can we make the current real estate environment less painful, right? So if you look at that from a positive standpoint, it can push you out of your comfort zone, make you do things that maybe you never thought you would do. We made a radio commercial this morning. And, you know, who would have thought that we would have done that, right? So it's pushing you in this kind of market to do things that maybe feel uncomfortable. They push you out of that comfort zone. But it's vital in order to keep your business moving and to get the most market share, to be innovative, forward thinking, and trying to remain positive under the stresses that we all are under. So let's see. It says one viewer. Let's see if we get any more. It's Garrett. Garrett's watching. So let's just wait a couple minutes, and then, like I said, we'll, you know, hopefully you guys can replay this and watch it later, share it, put any comments. But I just wrote down a few notes, and I just was going to go through the best momentum and having the best success in today's market. So number one, first and foremost, is to have your borrowers, if you're a realtor, get pre-approved, and make sure that they do all of the steps necessary to make sure that their approval is valid, right? So making sure that they submit their income, or in our case, we do digital verification. So with assets and income, they can digitally verify that, and we don't have to keep collecting pay stubs and assets throughout the process. And we have those verification of employments up front, so I know I'm accurately calculating the income. So if they have overtime, if they have bonus, we want to see that in the beginning to make sure we're not underqualifying them or overqualifying them. So step number one to success is obviously have a good and valid pre-approval, and hopefully it's with us, and we can digitally take the loan application, verify that income and assets. The other thing that we're running into is with insurance. So obviously with rising rates, what people are approved for today may not be the same next week or even tomorrow. It's a very volatile market. So if you have a borrower pre-approved at $250,000, then, and you go out and you write an offer for $250,000, know that if the taxes and insurance are higher than what was estimated, or if they're in a flood zone, for example, this has your approval in jeopardy, okay? When you're maxing someone out, which it seems like lately everybody is, right? Everybody wants the max they qualify for because there's limited inventory, especially when you're talking under $250,000. So try to get the insurance quotes up front. That way we can just nip it in the bud before they write an offer and make sure that we are still good and that our approval is valid. Okay, I know in a fast-moving market it's not always the case that you can get insurance quotes and exact taxes and have all of that done up front, but the more you can have up front, the less likely that you're going to have issues as the process continues. Okay, so that's on the insurance piece. Getting familiar with niche products, so how to win in this market when you're going up against other offers, or you have borrowers that maybe their credit is fine but they have no liquidity, they don't have the down payment money. That is where our programs like Chenoa Grant, where we can grant up to 5% of the sales price to help them with closing costs and down payment comes in. That's where some of our other niche products, split no PMI loans. How about 2-1 buy downs, where we're starting to do those. And what that is a temporary rate buy down. It's not an adjustable rate, but it allows the borrower, for example, if today's rate is 5.75, it allows them maybe to start out at 3.75. I just saved a deal last week by doing a 2-1 buy down and helping the borrowers ease into homeownership by temporarily reducing their rate the first 2 years. They know their income's going to go up, and they felt comfortable proceeding forward at what their rate and their payment was in year number 1 and year number 2 and number 3. So getting creative, right? Making sure that people feel comfortable, making the most aggressive offer they can, but still staying in that comfort zone. Because if you're maxing someone out and they don't like their payment in the end, then guess what? That deal is in jeopardy of falling through. Even if they qualify, they still have to feel comfortable with their payment. If you've joined in, just drop a hi for me. Say hello so I know you're here. And yeah, I should be able to see your comments over here. I know I had to change the time. I'm sorry. I didn't want to miss the town hall meeting that we had, and it was exactly the same time that I was going to go live. So I had to go and change it. Hey, Samantha. How are you? So we're going to, like I said, get aggressive with your offers. Know your insurance and taxes up front. Let me discuss with the borrowers what their payment looks like. If they're a little uncomfortable, I can discuss these temporary rate buy downs with them and say, hey, what if I could get you a lower rate in the 3s for year number 1 and a rate in the 4s for year number 2? How would that make you feel? Would you feel better about that? Would you feel better about maybe upping your price point, knowing that you feel comfortable with the first year and second year and it's not an adjustable rate? So that's some creative things that we're doing. Like I said, getting the insurances up front is huge. And then getting familiar with the niche products that we offer. So those are things, that help. We can also do a full pre-approval. So if you have a borrower that is borderline, or you're just they're in an aggressive price point, and you're trying to get the best offer, maybe instead of submitting a pre-approval letter, we submit an actual underwriting approval letter with the offer. Would that strengthen the offer? I think it would, plus it'd be a quicker turn time. We obviously don't want to use the resources to underwrite every single loan up front, but you know what? If we have to underwrite to make that borrower more attractive to a seller to get the offer accepted, let's do it. We can digitally verify income and assets. We can send them to underwriting before they have a contract. And now we've got a fully approved loan subject to title and appraisal. So even quicker closings, and you can put a quicker close date in your offer. So those are just some ideas. Some other things that I had in my notes were, getting creative with open houses. So if you have open houses, and let's say you're doing it on a Sunday, instead of doing it from 12 to 3 or what have you, make it an hour. Just make it an hour so you've really got the most serious buyers that make it a point to show up, and there's a sense of urgency there. So instead of just sitting there for 3 hours, which time is money, right? We want to do it for an hour. And have a loan officer with you if you can. Not every time will you maybe be able to have that, but how powerful if you can advertise, hey, 1 hour, this house is open from 1 to 2 on Sunday. A loan officer is on site to pre-approve you on the spot. It creates that excitement, it creates that urgency, and people walking through are going to be serious, right? Especially if they let a lender take their application. That shows that they're serious, and even if they don't buy that particular home, you can capture them as a buyer for whatever home that they do want. So that was something different and creative. Also, some game-changing questions that you can ask your customers. And I was talking to Garrett about this yesterday because we were strategizing on some things, and I said, you know what? We have some key questions that we need to start implementing. You know, we get so busy that sometimes we forget to just slow down for a minute and ask some vital questions to our customers. And one of the most vital things that we can ask is, do you feel your income or finances will increase in the next 2 to 5 years? Now, why is that important? Well, it's really important. You know, for one, maybe that's an opportunity to upgrade to a bigger home in a couple of years. Maybe sell their present home and up to the next size, or keep that one as rental property. Maybe they want to buy that second home and use you as their agent, and buy a condo on the water, whatever it is. So, you know, you want to ask the questions on, do you feel your income's going to increase in the next 2 to 5 years? What's very important to you in this transaction? That seems so basic, right? But it's something that I don't think a lot of us think about, to slow down and just ask, what is your biggest fear? What is your biggest concern with this? What are you hesitant about? You know, really asking those questions that, you know, instead of just, you know, name, social, date of birth, let's just do the loan application, or the realtor, you know, just saying, hey, what do you want in a house? How about delving deeper and find out what their goals are, their fears, how you can overcome that and help them overcome those fears. And I think if we just slow down just a little bit and ask those questions, I think we'll get big results. And I think people will feel trusted and that we care. And I think that's so important right now. I think more than ever, there's a lot of fear out there. And I think if we can just slow down, ease the fears, find out what their goals are, and try to help them achieve their financial goals, not just this one transaction, but let me be your partner to help you with your second home, your investment home, that condo on the water, whatever it is, right? So we also, I wrote down financial objectives, which we just covered. And then also, when we're talking about getting creative, we have a new HELOC, or home equity line of credit, that we're launching in July. And that particular program, you may say, well, you know, why do I really care about a home equity line of credit? But let's say you have a situation where a borrower needs to tap into the equity of their home to buy that next home, and their house isn't ready to go on the market yet. You know, maybe they want to do some upgrades. Maybe they want to buy the new house and slowly renovate that home before they go into it, right? So in that case, we can do a home equity line of credit from start to closings about 7 days. I mean, it's going to be lightning fast, like everything we do here, or we try to, as long as the borrowers cooperate and give us everything. But 7 days from start to finish, and we can pull some equity out for them to either do updates to their home, to go ahead and get money to put down on a new home. What people don't realize is we typically don't let you borrow money to purchase a home unless it's a home loan, okay? That's the only time you can borrow money to buy another property, is if it is an actual mortgage, like a home equity line of credit. And then we will just count that debt against you, allow you to use that line of credit to purchase the next property. So you're going to be seeing all kind of innovative loans that we're going to come out with, and creative ways to utilize this new lightning fast home equity line of credit. It's something we're very proud of, and we're going to be implementing more and more programs utilizing this program. So keep that in the back of your head if you have somebody that, you know, either is an investor or someone that is not ready to put their home on the market for whatever reason, but they want to buy that next property, okay? This is a perfect example of how we can do that. Now, obviously, they have to budget. You know, they have to budget for both, you know, the new house and their existing home and line of credit. But there are people that will definitely qualify for that. So do you guys have any questions? If you have any questions, drop them in the little comments here. I think we got a couple people still on, maybe. Like I said, you can always replay this, right? And if you watch this in a replay, please comment and share so I know that you watched it. since I didn't have a big group on during the live, but hey, I think it's still informative. Some other things while we're waiting on any questions, if you have any, is that I got from the town hall. Hey, Debbie. Some things that we got from the town hall meeting today were things that we're really proud of here at Loan Depot is our ability to pivot and shift with the market. So with the volatility, with the, unfortunately, there's a looming recession that is coming in 12 to 24 months, or we think that it is. Once that recession does hit, rates will decline. So I think we still have another year to 18 months of rising rates before we start seeing them take a dive back down due to, unfortunately, the recession and the inflation that we're dealing with right now. Gas prices, food prices, we all feel it. You know, that we're just in the midst of inflation. So 90% of our business right now as a company retail model is purchase business. There are just still that few percent of people that are still refinancing regardless of rate because they need to consolidate their debt. They're going through a divorce. You know, there's going to always be a reason why someone would refinance in this kind of environment, but 90% of our business is purchase business. We are currently making enhancements that'll be later in the summer for our consumer portal. So when people digitally apply with us, and we talked about digitally verifying income and assets, so we don't have to keep asking for pay stubs and bank statements, right? We're trying to make it as painless as possible. That consumer portal where customers have their to-do list and they can go upload their documents or whatever's needed, we're doing a lot of enhancements to make that even more user-friendly. People love the app right now, but we're trying to make it even better and smoother, okay? So better turn times. We want to get even quicker. I think our average turn time is about 17 to 19 days for closing, from application to closing, regardless of loan type. We're just super quick, and a lot of it has to do with that digital verification that we can do in the beginning of the process. Last year, the company got 10 million leads from a company perspective that we were able to work and help with our Mellow Home customers. And, you know, right now when we're in this environment where we all feel a lot of pressure, and I'm sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. Sorry about that. When we're in an environment where we feel a lot of pressure and we feel like, you know, am I doing everything I can do? Instead of feeling like I'm just under pressure, right? Take that and make it into a positive and step out your comfort zone. We made a radio commercial today, and I mean, I was nervous, and Garrett was laughing because he's like, Andrea, why are you nervous? You've been doing this forever. And it's like, it's different for me. When you try something different, I think when you feel nervous, you're growing, and that's a great opportunity to get to the next level. Get out of your comfort zone. Do something you've never done before. Maybe you've thought about it and you just haven't implemented it. Now's the perfect time, this environment that we're in right now, to take that nervousness, that anxiousness that you feel, and do something that you've never done before, and you're going to feel great about it. So, you know, stepping out, whether it's doing a commercial, whether it's going live on Facebook, whether it's, you know, co-marketing, doing those open houses, like I said, you know, 1 hour on a Sunday and have your lender there, whatever it is, do something you haven't done before and use this time where we all feel anxiety and pressure in this industry. Look, it's already a high pressure job, right? Especially realtors who are balancing. It's a juggling act for you guys. I have so much respect for everyone who does this and does a good job at it, because it is truly a juggling act. You guys have the hardest role as a real estate agent. You're trying to be everything. You're a negotiator. You're informative. Sometimes you're a loan officer because your customers call you before they call us with questions. You have to wear every hat in the transaction, and it's very hard. And don't put so much pressure on yourself, and just know that in times like this, where there's volatility in the market, there's uncertainty in the market, there's, you know, inflation and rising rates, turn that around and make it in a positive and say, what can I do? This is a perfect time, an opportunity to step out my comfort zone and really see what I can do and use that as a positive opportunity. So that was a big message that we heard today from our company CEO and, COO and everything, is just keeping a positive mindset, continuing to move forward, and know that everything's cyclical. So rates aren't going to continue to rise forever. The market's not going to continue to feel like this. It's all cyclical, and it moves up and down, and we're just in a really funky spot, but we're not going to be in that spot forever. That's temporary. So we can work together, make the best of it, and that's what we're trying to do. Let's just stay positive and make the best of it and get the most market share we can get. So that was a big message, and I love hearing that kind of talk from our leadership. We have some great leadership here at Loan Depot. I'm very impressed with them, and I like their style, and I like what they stand for, which is really the customer experience and making it the best streamless process. So don't let fear get the best of you. Use it as a motivator. So that's really the last thing I had to chat about. If you have any questions, go ahead and post those, or just say bye if you want to say bye. But I appreciate everybody who was able to jump on. I know I had to change the time, and I still don't know if the evenings work out better for this or during the day. I'm going to still do every other Thursday, preferably at lunchtime. But if evenings seem like we get more, we might try that again, depending on how the next turnout is. But I think it's important that even if you don't join live, that you still watch this and share it, and post it if you want to. Hey, Jill. Oh, you're welcome.
Remember, guys and ladies, share this as much as possible, not just for us, but for you. A lot of this information here really helps your borrowers and all your clients, because a lot of people don't want to sit down and talk to us. They don't want to ask those questions up front because they feel like they're wasting their time, our time, which is not the case at all. But we do understand that a lot of borrowers have very general questions. Yeah. And these kind of things, these lives, is really what we're here for. We're here to answer those general questions, and obviously some specific ones. But this is really for borrowers. These are really to answer some of those questions that y'all get asked all the time. What can I afford? What can I do? What's counted against me? That's what this is for. So please share, get this out to everybody.
Yeah. And the other thing I'm going to be doing next week is making a video of general questions and answers. So we get asked all the time, what is PMI? Why do I have to pay a first year of insurance up front? What's a debt to income ratio, and why don't I qualify for more? And so I'm going to make an informative video, and I think it's something that will answer most borrowers' generalized questions that are most common, and you guys can share that with your customers, and we're going to share it too. When we're sharing our link to my application, we'll send this general Q&A, 2 or 3 minute video. We're not going to drag it out for for 10 minutes, but just take 2 to 3 minutes and say, this is what PMI is. This is why we need a year of insurance up front. This is how debt to income is calculated and what your housing could be for different loan types and so on. So we're going to, put that together, and I'm going to share the video with you guys. And if you have any questions, or if we can help you in any way, we're here for you. My number is 985-788-8238. My website is loandepot.com/Andrea West. And you can share that with your customers to apply 24/7, even on the weekends, whenever, evenings. And if you don't have anything else, I will see you guys soon, and have a great rest of your week. Talk to you soon.